How you doing, guys? Here we are going to check out 1973 through 1983 CIS airboxes. Got a few different ones right here. Some a little drama, some others aren't. Here's some of the parts. Got your manifold boots right here for when you're putting on a new airbox or repairing a box. Cold start. Pop-off valve. Airbox seal. Coffin gasket. This is your normal airbox right here for a Porsche 911. This one's been modified. It already has a pop-off valve installed. What happens, it'll build up pressure and this little puppy will relieve it. So they call it the toilet lid many a time. I don't know if you guys ever been to the races. You'll hear them shift the Formula 1 car. Whoop, whoop. That's this relief right here you're hearing. What holds this is a two-piece setup. You have this piece here, the second piece here of the airbox, and they are screwed and glued together. What happens is this will hit pressure and separate the box, like this one over here, which actually I first want to show you. It had a pop-off valve and it still completely blew apart. Okay, now a lot of you wanted to see what the heck's under there. There's a good shot of it right here. Here's your spider. I call this a spider sometimes. So pop-off valve or not, it blew. This one over here, pop-off valve or not, it blew. This one here doesn't have a pop-off valve, but it blew, and I'll show you that in a second. And this one here, pop-off valve, it blew. This box here is a custom-made box that I don't even know if you can still get these boxes, but they're out of aluminum. Look pretty cool. Hard to kind of seal because they're so solid, but they won't blow. This is their custom pop-off relief valve. But it's not out of plastic. I really don't see a need for that because the old plastic factory boxes done right, they'll hold. But one thing, this one here, obvious, it blew. So we're going to just move this one over here out of the way. Take the normal air box that we get in a lot. This one's been sitting around. You can see it's all dusty. They sometimes turn the pop-off valve many different ways. We have not really seen a gain of either doing it this way or forward or backwards. Sometimes they say this, they'll get caught with the filter, so we like it back here. A little bit more room to work. Now this one here, these boxes are held together with these little flathead screws. Some of them even have little Phillips screws, but what they don't have are these big monster screws. What happened is, this airbox blew. They put these big screws in to kind of hold it down, but it didn't work. Because if you look right here, and here's where they blow. Not so much on the outside right here along the glue seam. It's usually right here, and it's always where you really can't see. That's why people, oh, my box is fine. But when it's sitting on the motor, it's sitting like this, you won't be able to see it. But when you take everything off, which is a lot of parts, and you look carefully, real close right there, you can see where it's split. And if I do this, it's really split. You can see this thing's ready to blow. So that little split isn't an ugly thing. It's an air thing. Got more air coming in. What we've seen people do is like, well, my car runs great, so how can my airbox be bad? Well, get more air, give it more gas, kind of bounces out. Car works somewhat okay, but no, not really good. So this is bad. Move that one out of the way. Here's an old airbox. No pop-off valve. We're going to look over in here, get some light, take a good look, and where you're looking again is right at this seam. See if I can get a real good close-up. You can barely tell there's a little hairline right there. Right there. This thing's blown. And what also gives that away is there's no screw there. Boom, blew that screw out. We've actually opened up air boxes and screws are floating around in here. Okay, you don't want that. This air box is no good also. But I'm going to keep this one here for a reason. This is a 73.5 CIS only. Really small little intake runners. When this one here, put right there next to it, this is larger. This is 74 up to 83 small. Then they even have the big mama. This one here, this is 78.79 or 83 euro, large. So a lot of performance guys like to go to this, and people wonder why little 2.4 73.5 CIS is little doggy. Well, that's not really adding much air and fuel to it. Now this air box here, this box is blown. This thing's been through a little bit more than blown. I think somebody's jumped up and down on this one. So this one's been tore up pretty good. But another thing I wanted to show is if a little inkling, instead of tearing apart your box looking, just take your fingernail, and if you can kind of get your fingernail under there, or just take a feeler gauge for valves, just shove it underneath there. If you can get a valve shim, adjusting shim underneath there, or something you can put underneath there that this screw has lifted, not all the way off. People are like, oh, if it didn't blow off, it's still good. No, if it's lifted and you put your nail or something underneath there and fit it, what it means is it's expanded. And if it's expanded, the box is blown. It's no good. So now, we don't offer this, but this is just one that people have seen. They're like, think it's kind of cool. Really awesome work, neat design. All aluminum, hand-formed air box. It can't blow, but we've seen a little bit of leak issues. But that's all aluminum. They look kind of cool. We even had one customer polish this whole thing up. A little overkill for me, but it worked. Now, let's say you have an air box and you have a pop-off valve and you've checked it and the screws have lifted where the box is blown, or you've checked that the glue seams all the way around, it's cracked, so it's blown. And you're not looking for on the seams, you're not looking for a major big opening. It just looks like somebody laid a hair on the glue. Okay, don't panic, these things aren't cheap. There's a lot of work to take off, because you got to take everything off the fuel system to get it down to this. Then you have to put everything back on, which are these parts over here you would need. But if you've cracked the air box, we can repair them. We reseal them. We have a place that reseals these. They're not glue. They'll just blow in 2 seconds. So it's really special gluing to do this. And we wish we could figure out what they're using, but they won't tell us. But it's been working out good. We even warranty them with them. So they're another way, instead of having to go to a new $500, $600, $700 new air box, just get your box repaired. Okay? That's it.